It started as a harmless suggestion. Bring your pet to work day, what could go wrong? After all, we all loved the idea of a few cats, dogs, and maybe a parrot or two milling around the office. The HR memo even mentioned that we could bring any pet, so long as they were well behaved and kept their distance from sensitive equipment. But there was one little line buried deep in the fine print: no dragons. The problem? No one read the fine print. I wasn't the only one who missed it. By the time the clock hit 9 a.m., the office was practically overrun with the usual suspects: fluffy dogs, content cats, a few birds squawking from their cages. But it wasn't until the door to the office opened with a gust of wind and a loud creak that we realized we had a real problem on our hands. Standing in the doorway was Kevin, the marketing guy who always wore a vest and made terrible puns. And behind him? A creature straight out of a fantasy novel. A sleek, dark-scaled dragon, its eyes glowing like embers. "Meet Spark," Kevin said, proudly scratching the creature behind its massive ear. "He's a rescue. Totally hypoallergenic, I promise." A few of the office workers laughed nervously. I wasn't laughing. Spark stretched, unfurling a set of wings that nearly knocked over the conference table. I heard a faint crack as the glass window closest to him buckled under the pressure. Someone screamed as the dragon sniffed the air and emitted a tiny puff of smoke, singeing the end of a potted plant. Kevin?" I said, trying to keep my voice steady. "You didn't read the memo, did you?" "Of course, I did," he replied, holding up his phone, where the HR email was clearly visible. His finger hovered over the screen. "Look, no mention of dragons. This is fine." "That's because 'no dragons' was in the fine print," I said, eyes darting around the office. People were starting to panic now. Angela from accounting was covering her head with a file folder. Chad from IT was taking photos for some reason. I glanced at the HR team, already frantically texting on their phones. No one had expected this. No one was prepared for this. Okay, just, let's stay calm, I said, trying to regain some semblance of order. "We just need to make sure Spark doesn't..." Before I could finish my sentence, Spark gave a loud roar, sending a plume of fire shooting up toward the ceiling. The sprinklers went off immediately, drenching the office, and I heard a panicked scream as a nearby vending machine shorted out. Kevin stood frozen, his hands up defensively. He's never done that before. I ran toward the emergency exit, calling out for everyone to evacuate. As we piled into the stairwell, I looked back at the office, now a smoke-filled mess of water damage and charred papers. "Maybe next year," I muttered, "we keep it to pets we can actually pet."